Zodd is no fool. He may be evil. He may be spiteful. He may be a lot of things, but he's not dumb. So in our last video, we left you at the docks with a battle raging between the Emperor and everyone that's coming at him. And everyone is coming at him. And he's doing a pretty darn good job of flashing them with lightning and all sorts of stuff. Who should show up? Zodd himself. Now, I love it when Zodd shows up because you know there's going to be a lot of this and that between Guts and him because they are arch enemies, or maybe it's more fair to say arch rivals. Who's the better, I was going to say the better man. I wouldn't exactly call Zodd a man. He's an apostle.
Like a beast.
He's a beast.
What did Sonia call him? She called him the Black Lion.
Yes, yes. The battle is going between them and the Emperor, but they're not together, but they're going to get together. And it's by necessity. There's a flashback that Zodd gets of Sonia talking to him about the fact that, yes, you consider Guts to be your ultimate adversary. Sure, you think you can beat him, yeah, yada, yada, yada. But maybe you ought to think about teaming up with him. And so they're going at it a little bit. Guts winds up on his back with a sword at his neck, basically saying to Zodd, you lost a horn last time. You're going to lose your head to me. Now, Zodd is no fool. He may be evil. He may be spiteful. He may be a lot of things, but he's not dumb.
True.
He's got a sword to his neck, and he's flashing back to Sonia, and he's saying, maybe I should team up with him. And I think he's also saying to himself, I was sent here by the Hawk, whose name must be forgotten. So he does know the real ultimate plan, which is he's got to defeat the Emperor first and foremost, because he wants that town. He wants to displace the Emperor, put himself on the throne, and basically take over. Yeah. And he's going to have to go through the Emperor. And the Emperor is tough. Tougher than Zodd by himself, I might add. Because Zodd flew right through him thinking, I can get rid of him like that. And it didn't even faze him.
In that little first excerpt, when you're first reading it, and Miura puts like a summary of what's happened so far. Did you see that?
Yes.
In the beginning. He hasn't done that, or I haven't seen it in the book so far. But I found it interesting because he did clarify that it is a manifestation of the Emperor.
Yes.
It's not him.
Yes. He's in the cloud, but he's really not there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter that he's not there because he is formidable not there as his projection.
Of like the mist and steam or something?
And they're all freaked out by the fog or the mist, whatever you want to call it, because it seems to be producing all sorts of enemies. And
it seems to be everywhere too. I didn't realize that it was like in the town
too. The docks in the town
that's
is
all him.
Covered with it. It's him. He's, I've not heard anyone say it, but he must be the most powerful of apostles.
Yeah, he seems to be very powerful, especially opposing the Hawk. You have to be pretty powerful to think that you're above.
To even think it. Yeah.
The God Hand themselves.
In fact, you've heard him curse the gods. Foolish, but gutsy.
True.
Yeah. Not that gutsy, but you know.
Guts respected it though.
Yeah, he did. Because Guts has no respect for those false gods either. So anyway, there we have our friend Guts riding on the back of Zodd saying, maybe we ought to rethink this. Maybe we really should do together a little bit of teamwork. And then we can do our battle after that. So they do team up. And thanks to Little Great Witch, who summons, if you will, or communicates with Guts by saying, go right between his eyes, between those brows. If you're going to fly through there with your sword, go there. I think it's fair to say that of the two, Guts and Zodd, Guts is the one leading. We'll show you why in a minute. But they go flying through the mystic Emperor, and they defeat him. We see the Emperor crying back at home on the throne, saying, what happened to me? And he's shocked. He's shocked.
That's never happened to him before.
But in spite of them defeating the visage of the Emperor, they still come crashing down to the ground.
Yeah.
It takes it all out of them, but mostly out of Guts. He's the one wielding the sword. Zodd was just there as a passerby. He's flying him through. But
I feel like Zodd took the brunt of the force, though, from the Emperor's lightning, because he's the one that went through him first, and then Guts said that...
Well, Guts is right on his back.
I know, but Guts said that his sword collects a lot of the lightning. Because remember when he tried to strike him and he put his sword up, and he goes, I guess lightning does reach high blazes.
Yeah, a little bit of what's her name? The Amazonian Wonder Woman. Yeah, his sword collects it.
Yeah.
They crash down hard. Guts is definitely stunned. Even though he's in his Berserker armor, which could survive a black hole, he's still stunned. Zodd, a little less so. After all, he didn't do much. Zodd is now ready to fight. And he thinks to himself, here's my arch enemy.
Yeah,
Let's
stand up,
defeat
boy.
him. And he tells him to stand up. And Guts rallies and does stand up. But Zodd, there's this trace of, no, I don't want to say a good guy. There's a trace of a fair player in him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not about to defeat his toughest foe when the toughest foe is really down and practically out.
And he respected that he stood up.
Yeah, he stood up. He was ready to go. Come on at me, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's the expression? Come at me, bro.
Please. That's why Zodd finds him so thrilling to fight.
Yeah. Zodd doesn't want to fight anyone else.
No.
I don't think he wants to fight Skull Knight.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
well, Sonya even said the one that you're drawn to, which is Guts.
Yeah. And he's probably drawn to him just because of the branding.
No, he was drawn to him way before the branding.
Yeah,
he's drawn to him because he's such a fun adversary for him to go at. Like, he loves it.
Who ran into that dark place to face Zodd the first time?
Guts.
Guts.
And he was not expecting Guts to be as formidable as he was pre-Berserker, pre-brand,
growing
pre-everything.
up.
Yeah.
And getting bigger.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge amount of respect of Zodd for Guts and a huge amount of hatred for Guts for Zodd.
Speaking of him being Zodd the Immortal, he did say that there's been like 1,000 years before he found someone as thrilling to fight as Guts.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really want him dead because then he'd probably have to wait another 1,000 years. And I think that the person he was referring to was Skull Knight pre-Skull.
Yeah.
Him wearing the Berserker outfit.
That Skull Knight, he's just a great character.
Yeah, we love him.
I thought he was back in these scenes, but Crystal pointed out that it's not him.
It's the Evil Hawk.
It was the far off scene that we often see him on his horse.
Yeah.
But in fact, it was...
We've actually seen that with Zodd too, when he threw Guts the sword.
The sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was a far off.
Yeah. Sometimes they're just there to watch.
You just never know.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know about those apostles.
True.
They go everywhere.
They really do.
They took that from the Apostle Paul, I think.
Please.
Anyway, there's not going to be a battle between Guts and Zodd. No way. No how. And who should step in to stop it? None other than the guy I've really come to admire, Sir Lancelot, Serpico. Serpico goes, this ain't gonna happen, guys. My buddy back here, he ain't ready to fight anybody.
But he sells it as, you said you didn't come here to feud between monsters.
Yeah.
So he gives Guts the out where it's like, all right, I'm sticking to my word, as opposed to, I'm about to pass out right now. I couldn't fight him anyway.
But it's fair to say no one else stepped into the gap.
Yeah.
It's always Serpico stepping into the gap because he is way braver than he is strong. And you gotta admire that. You gotta admire courage no matter the size of the person. That's why I like him so much.
And he would totally try to take on Zodd if he
would.
felt necessary.
He'd parry a few blows and then he'd be dead.
But he would give it his all.
He would. He absolutely would. Well, because of his brain power up here, he's able to send Zodd off, but not before Hammerhead says something to him like, why don't you defeat him? He's your... Hammerhead gets a stranglehold on his neck. He probably had a lisp ever since that point, but he'll never make that mistake again. Don't try to tell Zodd what to do, and don't try to get him to kill an enemy that he wants to battle for the rest of his life. Probably to a draw. That would thrill him.
I will say, I think that Zodd also used that as an excuse because he's like, we came here on the Hawk's business. And it's
That's
like,
right.
you just don't want to kill Guts. Like,
Yeah,
you are
I think
acting
you're
so
right.
high and mighty. Never said to kill him. So and it's like, you just want to battle it. Don't lie, Zodd.
I think, too, that if he had come back, there's this great biblical reference now. If there's a biblical reference where Saul is out to battle and dies, and someone comes to David and said, I got great news for you. Saul is dead. In fact, he asked me to put a sword through him, and I did. Now, the guy was lying, but David,
killed him,
was an enemy of Saul. Saul hated him towards the end of his life. He didn't like this guy killing Saul, the king.
Yeah.
And let him know it by sending one of his guys to dispatch him. If Zodd killed Guts, he'd last about 1 second with the Hawk.
Really? You think? Yeah, that's fair.
Because Griffith would get rid of everything that he has if he could just have Guts by his side.
Yeah.
Oh, the poor guy's never going to get what he wants.
He's yearning for him.
Yeah. Great.
Also, do you know who we see, which we haven't mentioned? Not Izod, but Azan. He's in the boat. I don't even think you noticed him. But his little mustache is there.
Yeah, I do remember. I thought that was the guy.
That's Azan.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I really didn't know that.
Well, I guess we haven't gotten to that part, but they do get to the boat.
It's funny, too, because when I'm making a recording of some of my notes and I say Izod, it always comes up Azan.
Yeah.
And I say to myself, what's Azan doing in this? Well, now I know he's there.
Yeah, he really is.
Wow.
I think he's going to join them on their boat because they're taking that little
skiff.
Yeah, like a little tugboat. And they're taking it to a ship, it looks like. And Azan is on there, and then Puck makes a comment like, Elvira, you gotta help putting these people back together. And she's like, you're gonna dry me out. I'm gonna be nothing.
Yeah.
Like, why do you guys keep doing this? And then you see Azan, his little Mr. Krabs mustache in the background.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs. So they're trying to patch up Guts. And it's gonna end with them getting to Sir Joffrey's ship.
Sir Rod.
Yeah, Sir Roderick. Sir Rodney. Rodney.
Joffrey was such a bad guy that you can't call our nice friend Roderick Joffrey.
He's come through. He stood in the gap a few times like Lancelot did. So I got to give him his due.
He also held Shyster Boy back. He was like, let me go. And he's like flipping off Zodd.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
I love him. Isn't he the best?
And he's got Magnifico to deal with. He's letting Magnifico tag along. But I kept wishing, would someone please throw him off the ship the minute you launch?
Please.
Just get rid of him. He is, let him be an anchor.
Yeah.
Because that's what he is. So
I'm excited to see what happens with the Zon on the ship. I hope that he comes because he's just on the tugboat right now. But I'm like, they're not going to just leave him on the tugboat, right? Like he's going to wake up and be like,
no.
Hey, where are we going? What are we doing?
And you know, he's with the Holy Seas army. And you can't really say that right now the army of the Holy See, which was up against the Emperor also, is in any way against Guts and his group.
No, not right now.
He's not.
At least. Yeah.
So,
and he was the third in command for the Holy Iron Chain Knights because it was Farnese, Serpico, and then Azan.
Yeah.
But like you said previously, they were taking orders from Azan, never Farnese. So he was really like the number one guy.
As it should have been. So I hope you're right, and I hope he tags along. He'd be a great character to have tagging along.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
But we won't know until we keep reading. And this is where we stop. If you don't mind, share, like, give us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. We really appreciate it. Goodbye.